Welcome to the Low and Slow podcast.
We're your girls, Crystal and Laken. If you press play today, trust, you made the right decision.
And know whenever you're listening to this, it's exactly the right time.
We invite you to pull up a seat to the conversation, get curious about your current perspective,
and lean in for the opportunity to see yourself in another woman's story.
We created That Girl Magic because we've been where you are.
Here, the talk is real and the breath is steady.
Let's get into your next mindset shift. Welcome back to the Low and Slow podcast. It is a fun one today, y'all. We are back with the trio, me, Laken, and Laura, and we are having a fun episode about retreats. Y'all know we're hosting a retreat in June in Costa Rica, and we thought it would be a special episode for us to share our experiences of what retreats have looked like. Why do you go to these things, right? What did you get out of it? What really enticed us to partake in something like that? And actually, we all met on a retreat. So This one's a fun one today.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about not only like what happens at the retreat itself, but more of like who you become when you go there, right? Like almost always, and for me personally, I've never left a retreat like the same version of me as I was when I arrived, right? And so it's like there's different versions and variations and different things that you can do on retreats, right? There's all different kinds, but I still think it's a big catalyst for self-discovery, and you always learn something about yourself, shift something, shed something. Like there's always something that moves when you go.
Yeah, I think retreats for me, it's that a retreat, it was like the first maybe not the very first, but it's an investment in yourself, right? It's a deposit. I'm showing up with everything, all of me, and I'm allowing myself to be led. I'm allowing myself to be witnessed. I'm allowing myself to be held. And for me personally, being in a container like that, there was so much that I was silent on that I didn't even want to admit to myself. So to invest in myself in that way, and then to be really around strangers who I didn't know, which I think is like a big thing why women are like, oh, a retreat, well, what if I don't know anyone? Or, you wind up leaving there quite literally with your best friend. And I think it's nice, especially when it comes to women's retreats, for, there's something special about just witnessing a woman in her experience, whether you relate to it or not. The witnessing is also a part of it. And so I think for me, it's that initial, like, I don't have to be ashamed of what I'm coming to the table with. I can just show up as that, and allowing other people to see your light beyond that, right? It's like there's so many times I think when women, anything, they're investing in themselves, maybe within a program or maybe in a like next level of education or a retreat, right? It's like you're really giving yourself the bridge to meet a new version of yourself. And when you're around other women, you allow them to see a new version of you too.
I think that there is a beautiful switch that flips or something that happens inside of you when you are a person like myself who loves to control the narrative and all the moving pieces, and I can just make sure everything is so. And my first retreat I went on under the guise of education. I was going to go learn more, and I was an advanced teacher training in Mexico, and it was really way more self-discovery, but having the willingness and the permission to allow myself, who is so much in control, to not be was, I was even like, who am I right now? And that was beautiful because I allowed myself to be seen.
Yeah. And taken care of, or it's like finally letting your nervous system like downshift, right? Where it's like, in real life, so many of us are always on, right? Like we're reactive to everything all the time. And so like being able to be in a space that's specifically curated to remove all those cues, all of those like pinging tasks, all of like the need, right? Like other people's needs at you all the time, that like decision fatigue that women struggle with so much. That's like when you're actually able to ground down, and when you're actually able to, I think, listen to your body, because it's something that a lot of women really struggle with. Is being able to feel into their body and understand what's coming up, or what feelings are present. And a lot of it is just because they don't create the space for it, like me included. I struggle with that myself. And so creating a space that's specifically curated to be able to allow that experience is really beneficial. And for a lot of people, that will be the first time that they've ever had a space like that they can do that in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're hearing things for the first time too, right? Where it's like, okay, if I hadn't created a space like this, when that's provided for me, I actually don't know how I will respond. So it's like I'm seeing that I can respond in this way. Oh, this is possible. And like, what can I do to create that space for me moving forward? Because I liked this, right? It's like, I think back to one of the retreats I was on. You went on at a different time than I did, Lake, but the Goddess Getaway. It's like, planning everything, what I wanted to eat, like none of that shit. You didn't have to think about anything. You showed up and it was like, what do I do? Like, I remember the first day, I'm like, can I help with anything? Can I do it? And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just having to be like, and like, yeah, talk with that girl, and it just was, it was different because I was used to making sure, like, what's next? What's on the agenda? Like, do I need to be prepared for anything? Right. And it's like, it really slowed. That was the first time where I could understand and I'm sure women have heard this, of like slowing down to speed up. I was constantly keeping myself in go, 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 and slowing down. I'm like, no, I can't take a break because then I'm gonna lose momentum, And it's like, slowing down actually really did help me to like, wait a second. Like I need to feel this slowness. I need to know like what's possible when I what's going to come up when I do slow down. And I was so supported and held in that. And it was liberating. It was like, I don't want to go back to what speeding up felt like before. Like I can still take action. Yes. But I don't, the way my nervous system felt was like very, very different, being slowed down intentionally in that way.
I feel like your intuition is more accessible in that space, and you're available to hear it. And I'm curious, like for each of you, like what's when you're in a space like that, like how do you know that your nervous system is downshifted? Like how does that show up, right? So like for me, it's like I sleep better. Like I'm able to fall asleep much easier, just because I'm in a calm state. My mind's not racing as much. And I would say like I'm much more emotional, right? Just because I'm able to access the emotion much easier in a space like that.
I would say I'm very hypervigilant about safety. I'm always thinking about my physical safety, my mental safety, my emotional, a lot on the physical, and realizing, I haven't thought about that. And in the last 5 minutes, the last 10 minutes, in an hour, I have not checked the door or who's next to me or whatever. So just feeling safe, but also more so not having to be conscious of, am I safe? And I think too, the awareness of emotions and the awareness of other women's emotions, for me, knowing that I am down-regulated, is that other people around me can have emotions and I don't feel the need to get up and fix them or hold space for them or help the leader of the retreat hold space for the person who's having an issue, because it's my job to somehow create that. I can just sit and be in me.
You have your own experience.
Yeah, I can have my own experience. Oh my God, that's a revelation.
Yeah. I would say for me, it's like not anticipating the very next thing, and I don't have to respond to anything. I only have to respond to me and whatever's coming up in that. And I'm pretty present, but it allows me to be even more present with like even more present with individuals I'm interacting with, but more so present with myself. Like I don't have to disregard some of the things because of what's, in my day or whatever. Like I can actually give myself that time and attention. And it's really in a container like that. It's permission. And like you said, like witnessing someone else in their experience, like I give myself permission to have my own. I can actually like exhale and, know whatever comes up with that is fine, is correct. I'm supported.
Yeah, I think being witnessed in your vulnerability is a big piece, because most of the time when you go, you're going in a group of strangers, like other women that you've never met before, and you may never see again, or you may end up, like you said, being best friends for life after that. But it's like there is a freedom in being able to be witnessed in that way. There's something really special about it. And I think a lot of it is, most of the time when we're around people that we don't know, we're wearing a mask, right? Like there's a sense of performing most of the time, because we have to be on, or we want to be perceived in a certain way, or we want to maintain our ego. And it's like that space is specifically created to be able to allow you to, like we said, drop in, but also to be able to just show up with your vulnerability and not have to be fearful of judgment or fearful of projections of shame from the other women that are there, because everybody's going through their own stuff, right? And being able to see that mirrored back to you and the other women is huge. And it breaks that, like, that shit that we all tell ourselves of like, oh, I'm the only one going through this. Like no one understands, or I'm all alone in this. Like that doesn't exist anymore in that space, which is really, really beautiful.
When you're sharing a portion of your story and the whole room goes, mm-hmm. Or like, and you thought you were on the island of whatever this situation is all by yourself. And really, here's 10 other women who are like,
Yeah. And then there's also like, the other women witnessing either maybe in a place that they've been, or in a place that they haven't quite yet reached, where they know it's possible because you are vulnerable enough to share it. It's like, oh, she got out of that. Oh, she, look at her, she's thriving now. It's like, it's a huge permission slip to just witness that vulnerability, and then to also have it yourself, for sure.
Well, it also just dissolves the shame, right? So it's like, if she's able to speak her truth and be seen by everybody here, and she's not holding on to shame around it anymore, because that's how we alleviate shame, right? Is with transparency. And so if I can dissolve shame for myself in a group of other women, then they can recognize that they don't have to hold shame around something similar that they're holding on to. And then you also don't have to, when you get that that like resonance, right? It's like you don't feel the need to explain yourself or over explain yourself, which is what so many women do. Is like you're able to just speak your truth without having to give this whole backstory of like justification of like, this is why I'm going through this, or this is why I feel this way. Like you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what's really cool about retreats, like let's talk about what, maybe were some hesitations before you guys went on a retreat. Like what were all of our hesitations? Because I think that a lot of people think retreats are something that they're not. I mean, this also depends what kind of retreat you're going on, right? Are you going on, a women's retreat? Are you going on a medicine retreat? Are you going on, like, kind of like you said, more in the style of like a, like, is this just for fun? Is this exploration? Like, what exactly is the theme of that retreat? And that's going to look different based on what you're doing. But I think everyone has a perception of like, we're all sitting in a circle singing Kumbaya. And that's not always.
We're dancing around the fire naked, chanting God knows what, drinking our green juice and doing yoga.
Or we're all doing colonics and having like a 3-day fast or water fast.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Which there are retreats that do all of those things. And no shade. Like if that's what you want to do it. It'll be like you'll get what you want out of it for sure.
Yeah.
We will not be doing that on our retreat.
No, we will not. And that's the thing. Like all retreats are not this is the thing, curation, y'all. Like the retreat you're going on, right? You should know what it's for. You should know what the goal of that retreat is. And like they're not all created equal. So when someone says I'm going on a retreat, it's like the first thing that comes to your mind is probably not what it is.
Well, that's what we've seen in media, or, you know, I think a lot of people's only experience with something
Like
similar would be like maybe like a Girl Scout trip, you know? Or like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times there's like
Church
a lot
camp.
of wounds around that. Like those can be like some traumatic experiences depending on what the outcome was at that time.
Or like couples retreats, right? Like what happened, you know? So it's like, yeah. What were some of your guys' hesitations? Laura, I'll ask you because I think you've been on more retreats than Laken and I have, right?
Some of my hesitations were, oh gosh. I didn't want to dance naked around a fire chanting I don't know what. So
You didn't?
That was a hesitation of
You
mine.
and Crystal would not be signing up for the same retreat.
Here I am on my retreat, butt ass naked, like doing a whole performance in the shower of like liberation. That's so funny.
I think I was, because I have been so controlled and monitored, and I'm good at my confidence, and I'm very good at painting the picture that of who I am, my representative, how I show up in the world. So I think I was a little hesitant to share my stuff in front of people I didn't know in the beginning, until I went and was like, this was the best thing ever. Hesitant or questioning, do I fit in? Because maybe I'm not yogi enough, or maybe I'm not spiritual enough, or maybe I'm not whatever enough. It could, there could be a million things, but the key was asking the right questions. What are we going to do there? What is the expectation? And something that I had to learn was that I went on a retreat where there was a lot of alcohol, which I didn't realize that there was going to be a lot of alcohol on this retreat. It didn't seem to go with the theme. It didn't go with what my perception of what the theme of the retreat was. And I didn't really like it. And two things happened. One was I got a little checked in that from the leader, because someone got lost at the bar and the bar called. And I was like, really? And didn't feel as though this was the appropriate place to wander off in your free time and get lost in a bar and have the bar call you. And I don't know this woman's story. I didn't know this woman's story. This is years ago. And the leader said, honestly, this is the safest place for her. If you knew the rest of her life, this is the safest place for her. And I was like, okay, there's something I'm missing here, right? I'm making a judgment on somebody. I'm not drinking alcohol. I don't have to drink alcohol. I don't have to, and not that I don't drink alcohol. I just didn't think it was the right place, right time. But there was lessons in there. And then I had to ask better questions when I was going to retreats. And how did that play out? But that one scenario was a little, I don't know. It was pivotal to me. I think about where my expectations are, where my judgments are, and what I needed to leave it at home. Because in the end, I actually ended up becoming friends with a woman who was at the bar, and I found out her story, and I love her very much. She's become a great friend, but that might not have happened that way if I wasn't open to take suggestion from the leader. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, what about you? Or some of your hesitations for the idea of like retreats? Maybe not one specifically, but just like.
Yeah, for me, it was overcoming like sister wounding. I think for for the longest time, I was a guy's girl.
Y'all.
I was not someone who was electing to spend a lot of time in groups of women, right? It was like, oh, like they're going to be doing a bunch of dumb shit that I don't care about, that I don't want to do, or like it's going to be, like boring, or they're going to be talking about
each other's hair.
Yeah, like we're gonna be talking about things that like I'm not gonna find interesting. Like all these judgments around like based on my stories or my lived experiences of like what happens in groups of women, right? It's like it's gonna get dramatic, or it's all these things. And so those are probably my biggest reservations. But that was a part of my healing of that, and a part of my going on my own journey of realizing like building a tribe of strong women, surrounding myself with groups of women that resonate deeply with me is something that's hugely important to me and something that I value so much now. And going to women's retreats was a huge part of that journey. Like, I don't think that I would have been able to experience it in the same timeline in the way that I did without having those experiences. So I would say that was my biggest reservation beforehand.
Yeah. I love that all of ours are different, because it's like a little flavor of like the judgment of like, wait, I was passing judgment on someone else, or like, with you of like the sister wounds, right? And then here I am like, my biggest hesitation of retreats was being judged, being judged for being exactly, how I am. And, but that was liberating for me, because I was like, I don't have going to this, like I don't have shit to prove, and I can just be myself. And actually when I am myself, a lot of people fucking like me, and I'm like, and not like in a cocky way, but just like it's liberating when someone is actually themselves and someone can see that, and oh, she has this and she owns it, or whatever. Like I think for me as a woman, it was just being me, like not having to be all together. And if I don't, underarm hair was like the biggest thing for me as a kid, where it was like, that's such a wound. But like, if I had a little underarm, whatever, like if I just want to lay in the sun with my top off, great. Like if I literally could just like accept all the pieces of me that were waiting to be seen, and going to a retreat, specifically a woman's retreat, gave me the space like to be seen, to just be fully myself and to own it. And like I remember on one of the retreats, like, it's nothing happening. I was like, I'm just gonna go take a fucking bath. Like I was just in there it was just great. Like, and there's just like little things where it's like I was waiting for that opportunity to be in a space where I could just be exactly myself. And if I was naked the whole time, or if I was just whatever, like that was okay too. And it's not to say that like all retreats you have to do that, but it was like I was like a little kid again, and I could just be myself and not have the shame or the judgment. Like Melissa, I will never forget. She's like, you remind me of my youngest daughter, because she, just is like free and like wants to, she has parents that are supportive of her being exactly who she is. And it's like, that's such a difference. And I think when I put myself in a place where I could give myself that experience as an adult that I did not have as a child, I was like, oh, I love this. Like, this is so fun. And I could just, yeah. So it's funny. All of ours are different. Which is why retreats, right? You're not gathering with the same cookie cutter woman. Like you're gathering with other women that all have their own stories, all have their own experiences, all have their own hesitations. And, you ask the right questions, you put yourself in the correct spaces. It's like, what magic can come out of you just by being around others who are not like you, not the same, right? When we want to just be around people who are the same all the time, it's like, how much growth do you get from that?
Yeah. For me, it was the release of control too. And that wasn't necessarily something that I had a reservation about before, because I didn't know what to expect. But definitely during, being like, oh, like there's nothing for me to do right now. So I guess I'll just go do whatever the fuck I want to do. Okay. Like, and not having to plan and project I mean, like forecast and like focus on, okay, what's our itinerary for the day, as much as like I do really like to know that, right? Like, well, just see what happens. And
it was almost uncomfortable. I'm thinking back to like two specific times that I had where, I was getting used to wait, what is free time? Like, what do I get to do with that? And now, because I've had that experience, now I'm like, I love my free time. I protect it, right? Like, I want it. But then it was like, wait, I could go take a bath for like 2 hours. Nobody's going to need me. Great. Right. Or, oh, like, but no one would be looking for me because I could go off and do my own thing if that's what I wanted to do, whether I was read a book, lay in a hammock, lay out in the sun, whatever it was. Not to say I was like disregarded, but it was like, yeah, you can go, oh, we're not doing anything at this time. You can go explore, go do whatever you want to do. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go do that. Which was fun.
And making sure you do your free time correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna use this free time to do things probably that I wouldn't allow myself to do before because the to-do list was calling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to speak to the sisterhood component because I think that's such a big piece of the women's retreats, right? It's something that a lot of women haven't had the opportunity to experience as adults. And often that comes from some type of wounding that happened when they were younger, usually teenagers, like whether it's like competition or betrayal or, distrust or whatever it is, like there's usually something, and this can be like a really corrective experience, right? It's like you can receive support and like be surrounded by other women without comparison, and there can be vulnerability and intimacy without like fear or threat. Like that's like those are really beautiful experiences. And also you can learn to receive without having guilt. I think that one's a really really big one that a lot of women really struggle with. It's like, are there things that you guys believed about other women that changed through your experience of retreat?
I have a couple, but the first one that comes off the top of my head, which I don't know if this is what I believed that all women feel bad about their bodies and are conscious about their bodies, and that they're very aware of like the shape they're holding at the time that someone's snapping a picture or whatever the case is. And then I went on this retreat. This one particular retreat had a boat day, and the boat was, this retreat had women who were like probably 30 to 50, and I was maybe 45. The 30-year-olds had every shape of body. They were all in bikinis. Some of them had cellulite. Some of them had really thin limbs, all different shapes and sizes, and nobody gave a fuck. They were having a grand ass time jumping off the boat, doing headstands on paddle boards, all kinds of stuff. And they did not give a shit about what their body looked like. They were having so much fun. And I didn't hear a single word about anybody saying anything about anybody's body, good, bad, ugly, or the other. And me and the other 45-year-old were standing there like, is that even real? How does this happen? What does that mean? How do I get that freedom in me to just be like, woo? And I think on that trip, I did not embrace that. I didn't embrace it for myself. But since then, the retreats that I've gone on, I have allowed myself more freedom in my own body, for sure. And I will say too, I know in the last retreat that Laken and I went to, this sisterhood, learning to receive from other women was knocking me over like a freaking avalanche. It was nuts. It was uncomfortable, and it was beautiful. And it was happy tears that I haven't had those kinds of happy tears since maybe when my kids were born or my marriage or something. It was like a love avalanche. It was beautiful.
Well, and that also allows you to understand, like you find a voice of like how to express your needs,
Yeah.
Because so many women really struggle with that, right? To be able to say what they actually need, because there's like fear of actually saying it out loud or asking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that's something, we said it as a joke, but then it just stuck of like, I have a request. And like, you know, because maybe you didn't feel comfortable, like, I need this, right? Like, because that very much resonated for me, like this like whiny little baby, like, oh, I need this or whatever. But it's like, no, it's not actually that. Like, I have a request and I can speak up for my request, and lo and behold, that shit's granted. Like, yeah, I got you. Like, I could do that for you. Like, I could be so willing to do that for other people, but then I struggled to let someone do that for me. And even just changing the words, like, I have a request rather than like, I need this, was like a fun way. And then it just stuck. And it's like, now I use it with my girlfriends all the time. Like, yeah, I have a request. This is something that I would like to do. This is something that would make me happy, right? Or this, you know, whatever. Let's see. What was the question again? Belief about other women?
Yeah, like was there belief that you had about other women that changed for you when going to retreats?
I guess maybe just like around like the judgment. Yeah, like maybe just like around the judgment, because I did always look different than other women around me, whether that was my hair, whether that was my teeth, my body. I was developing super early, you know, all of those things. The hair, the underarm hair that I was talking about earlier is kind of like that same thing, Laura, where it was like, oh, there was girls around me that had that, they did not care, or like, your hair wasn't done, great. It's like, I think what I observed was like, women could just be like exactly themselves without having to put on the mask. Like, and then that gave me even more permission, like, I don't have to, like, there was a version of myself that I never had a day where I did not get ready. I was always put together, right? It's like, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Like, I always made sure I was together, because what did it mean if my hair wasn't done, especially with hair like mine, right? Or if you weren't put together, what did that mean about you? That was so a lot of conditioning that was there. So it was like on those retreats, that's where I got a little more crunchy. Like, I'm like, yeah, I could just, my hair it's fine how it is. And okay, maybe I'll brush it today. Maybe I won't, you know, or like, I'm not going to put on any makeup. Or I think it was just the idea of like, damn, I'm still so beautiful without all that stuff. And I can just, you know, I don't need to get my nails done all the time. Like, I could just really just be in my own skin. And I got really comfortable being in my own skin. So yeah, that I could see women beautiful or be comfortable in their skin and own that.
Yeah, or that like sounds like you believed before that women just judged each other, like they judged each other, or there was just like comparison that was just like the default. And then
or like criticism of other women that like, if you didn't look like this, then that meant you didn't have your shit together. You know, it's like, if you didn't have the mask on, oh, she, you know, whatever it was. Like, I mean, think about moms, right? Like, I love moms to death. I cannot wait to be one. But when you think about moms of like the mom who's all put together and like her kid, and you know, they're on time and this, or like the mom who, yeah, they're there, they still show up, but the mom is just, you know, she's holding on by a thread, right? And it's just like, there's so much like criticism of like, what's the right way, or what's, you know, like, do you even take care of yourself, right? Like those kind of things, where it's like on retreats, I was like, it wasn't like that. And that's where like the sisterhood comes in too, of like, oh, you need this, like, oh, you want to borrow this. And like, I love that. Like, that's something that I was missing for a long time, because I had that in my family and like a big group of cousins, and I'm one of 3 daughters. So like, I had sisters, but when that piece of my life was removed, it's like I lost that. And I always wanted to have that with my friends. So it was like being able to recreate a version of that in my adult life that I didn't have.
Also, it allows you to start to question, who is it for? You know what I mean? Like when I feel the need to present a certain way, and then all of a sudden I'm surrounded by women that where like there's this permission slip of, we could just look like this, like, It allows you to like start to question like, oh, well, who is that actually for? Like, is this something that I'm doing for myself because I really like it and I appreciate it, or I want to look this way? Or is it something that am I doing all these things that, to be honest, require a lot of time and effort and money? Am I doing all of that for other people?
Right. Right. And it had been, right? And then it's like having that experience where I'm like, no, I do this shit for me. Like this is how I feel my best. Like if I don't want to do my hair, great. Like I still feel the same, right? And I think that's something like I think for most women, until you have that experience of your own, like when that conditioning is so deep, it's like I don't have to do this for anyone else but myself if I want to. Right? Like it's like it became an option again, or a choice.
Yeah.
What about for you?
Oh, I spoke about mine already, like the reservations, right? Of like, basically, I just believe that like women were super dramatic and like catty when there were groups of them together. There was always like drama or arguments or like basically stuff that was not interesting to me that was occurring. And then I was like, oh, check this out. Like, we're actually having really good conversation and we're talking about things that like are really resonant, and we're able to like emotionally share and not feel judged about it and share different experiences that are happening that are important to us, whether it be around, jobs or kids or men or whatever it is, right? It's like everybody's experience was valid and cared for.
Yeah. Or like, and also too, I think in a container like that, it's like, it's also being able to see everyone at the same level, like no matter what you do, no matter what, what you've been through, it's like you can still relate to other women somehow in some way, which is nice.
Yeah.
I really love how, typically you sit down in the beginning and you go around the circle, you're introducing yourself, and everybody gives a little bit of the story that brought them there. And you can see a version of yourself. It's like it's just magic that happens. All these women come from all over and they have all different kinds of jobs and lifestyles and kids or not kids or whatever. And you can see yourself in all of them, either a version of you that has already been or a version of you that you're trying to be. And it's just such a cool, reflective moment that happens. And then if you allow yourself to go in that journey, you will sit with women who will know you better than anyone has ever known you ever. And you just traveled this path for 5 days or 6 days or whatever it is. I remember at the last retreat in Costa Rica that we were at, when Lauren had said to me, like, how would we ever explain what we've been through or what we've done here to other people? And I said that's why we have each other. Because everyone in this room, we witnessed it. But it was, just such amazing things that were happening there, and big mountains that were being moved. And
which makes it even that much more special, right? Where women, like if you can allow someone to see you in your process, they can witness that beautiful version. And then it's like, as you're continuing to grow and do all the other things, like they're also getting to witness you in the in the process, but then in the result too. And I think everyone just wants to get to the result, but it's like it's in the process where it's like, gosh, I've seen her at this version, I've seen her at this version. It's this beautiful evolution. And like, women are constantly evolving. We're supposed to be, right? Even every month we're evolving, each period, each cycle, each
well, and that's where like these containers are able to, you're collapsing timelines, right? Like you're able to get this identity shift in this very concentrated period of time. And you're not only able to see like different versions of either where you've been or where you want to go and other women around you, and get this permission from the other women around you to show you like, oh, I can do that, right? It's like all this positive affirmation. And then you get to collect the evidence along the way towards the new version of yourself, like throughout that experience, right? So it's like these proof moments of of rest, of joy, of play, of, softness, of like the way that I want to show up. But I didn't believe that it was a possibility for me. I didn't know that it was available for me, right? It's like I can feel safe in these expressions and still be me. It doesn't have to change who I am, but it's like you said, the evolved version of me. Like I can shed that shit and then like move into this next level. Mm-hmm. And also like borrow belief from other women that are having the same collective experience in that space.
Mm-hmm. And in that space, right, the only person that's telling you like the idea that like there's not going to be anyone else there that's going to tell you that you can't do that, right? It's like that's why they're curated in that way. And
if anything, it's going to be the opposite. They're going to be cheering you on for the stuff that you're doubting.
Right. Yeah. Right. And so it's like the borrowed belief. Like even if you can't see it yourself, like you're also being able to borrow the lens of like all these other women around you, which then helps you even create a new lens about yourself, which is the special part.
Yeah.
So special.
Is there something that you believed about yourself after a retreat that you didn't before?
Are you asking me or Laura?
Either of you.
The depth of the questions. I'm like, I need a second to answer. Ask one more time for me.
Like, is there something that a new belief that you adopted about yourself that you didn't have before you went to a retreat?
Oh yeah, I'm the fucking vibe. Absolutely. That I'm the vibe, that I can, like, no matter where I go, no matter what container I'm in, no matter, like, I think, that I'm the vibe. Like, it was a comfortable confidence. It wasn't confidence that I thought I needed to have anymore. I was actually comfortable with
who you are,
being myself. Mm-hmm.
I think for me, I've had two in the most recent ones. The last retreat we were at, I went in the bathroom to use the bathroom, and I looked at myself in the mirror. And I don't usually look at myself in the mirror in depth because I don't. I'm sure there's a bunch behind that, but I don't. Mm-hmm. But I did, and I literally said out of my mouth, "I'm proud of you." Mm. Did I just say that? It was because I move the goalpost so I can be better and better and better and better and better and better and better. And it's similar, right? I'm good right where I'm at, and I am proud of me. So that was huge. And the other one, going along with that, is that I'm allowed to I don't have to do the thing. I don't always have to be doing a thing to be better for other people, that I am okay to be getting better, healing, growing, loving, softening for me. Not so I can go be a better coach and a better leader and a better whatever, but just for me, because I deserve it.
Yeah. I think I answered straight out the gate too, but I want to add one. After this one retreat I was on, it was also like, I'm safe to learn. I think I had experiences of when I would learn things before, it was very criticized. So it was like, I'm safe to learn, I'm safe to grow. Like I can give myself permission to do that. Like I don't have to have all the answers, and I don't have to, act like I know everything to be able to be in the spaces that I want to put myself in. Like I could just be seen starting and growing, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't going to be any like consequence from allowing someone to see that I was learning, like that was a big one. What about you, like?
It's funny because, like, as Laura
question
was saying,
asker, tell us your answer.
As Laura was saying hers, I was like, oh, weird, but not weird, because there's been several times where I've been like, Laura and I are, it's I'm a past version of her. She's a futuristic version of me. I don't know which one, but it is very interesting.
And vice versa at the same time.
Yeah.
We are duality.
Yeah. But I similarly I often don't meet my gaze in the mirror. And at each women's retreat that I have been to, whether it is a medicine retreat or not, I have found myself looking at myself in the mirror and telling myself that I love myself. And that's not something that I say very often. It's not something I allow to come through very often. And I meant it. And that was really, really big for me. And it was like a genuine, like how I would say it to like a child that I love very much, right? Of like I actually see you and I love you. And that was a really big shift each time that it's happened. And also in the being able to be valued without having to produce, right? Of like being able to just be and have people like genuinely interested in me and like, you know, want to connect with me and know more about me. And, you know, one feeds the other, like being able to be seen in that way and appreciated and valued. And then also to find that value in myself was a big one.
Yeah. To not need anything from you. They just want you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very special. Very special. This is also very nice. Like the emotions. For once, it's not me. Hell yeah. But the emotions are good, ladies. I'm here for all the emotions. When I get little emotions from the I'm sucking it up like a straw. It's just, yes, absolutely. Heart pounds all around.
I think that, you know, it might be a unique situation that Laken and I have been to multiple retreats together. And so we've watched each other's journey. And then now we've also hosted retreat together. And Brenda, one of the women who came to our retreat, she has a friend that I have not met yet, but that they retreat together. And I know that there's such a beautiful moment when you're watching another sister that now you know the story, you've been on a little journey with them, you know the story, you're behind the thing, and now you're in another situation, you're at another retreat, and you see them going through the process and going through their journey, and you're like, fuck yeah, look at her go. I'm like, I saw that look in your face and you were and just so much pride and love for each other in the tears or the pain or the joy or the silliness or the whatever. Be able to have that when I am Laken, you are Crystal, I think you are too, and then probably also the women we attract are so independent, fiercely independent, and don't need people, and can do anything, and can do all the things, and and so then to be free to see someone and celebrate them and love them unconditionally is just, there's nothing better. There's nothing better. And I did not know that was possible for my life.
Yeah. I think the main thing, and too, as if ladies, as you're listening, is like 3 very, like all different experiences. Women who go on retreats are going to get something from the retreat that they ultimately didn't sign up for, because they can't even start, like, you can know you can know the why, right? But it's like you're getting something that is so invaluable that you don't know until you would put yourself in that space. And I think it's like if you can give yourself permission to do that, to even give yourself the chance to do that, it's like what comes from, you know, just putting yourself right there at the edge and then allowing yourself to jump and knowing that the container's there for you to be caught. And like you're allowed to see and discover what's on the other side of that. And there's so much more to you than what maybe you're initially thinking the retreat will be. And like feedback of going on them ourselves, hearing this from other women is like, dang, I got so much more out of this than what I thought. Or like, you know, I didn't think I would leave here with this, or I couldn't even fathom seeing that this would be like how I'm feeling now. Go fast forward from when I first signed up. Like one of the main things of I'll ask clients often is like, what would you say to the version of yourself before this time? Like before you started this program, before you went on this retreat, before you started doing this work with us. And it's like what they say, if you would have told them that that's what they would say, like I deserve it, or, you know, I love you, I'm proud of you, or, you know, like it's like that's not going to be the thing that gets you sometimes in the door to say yes to something. And so it's like, allow yourself to, if there's something that's sparking or like creating interest, allow yourself to explore that, because it's not always in what you think it will be.
Well, yeah, it's like you don't know what's gonna come up if you've never given yourself the space to allow it to come up before, right? It's like that's in such a big piece of the work that we do of like creating space to allow emotions to move, like the stuck energy that's happening, that's being contained in your body, right? Because it's like, if you don't allow yourself to feel it, it's not going anywhere. It's gonna either like create dis-ease or manifest as physical symptoms, or, you know, leak as energy leaks at some point. And this space allows you room to be able to like process the emotions that you've probably been outrunning, right? Like whether it's like grief or anger or loneliness or resentment,
shame, guilt.
yeah, all of that. It's like when you're able to move that stuff, like you'd be surprised how much energy you can get back in return. And like,
and then you bridge the gap between the woman who you are and who you're trying to be. That
right, because you're clear on what that gap even looks like, right? Because you've put yourself in the space to find that out. Yeah, absolutely.
I also want to speak really quick to like the importance of integration, right? And this is something that
so important.
we focus a lot on. It's a big focus at the retreats that we intend, intentionally so, and also in our retreat, right? Is like making sure that it doesn't just fade, like all of the magic that you experience doesn't just fade away as soon as you get home, right? It's important that like the post-retreat crash is real, right? And especially when you come back into, you know, a very familiar environment and going back into old roles and like a full schedule and like all the things that, you know, that are waiting for you because you created that space for that number of days or whatever, like that's really real. And to be able to take learned lessons from your experience and apply them into your everyday life, like that's a part of what we're teaching you here, so that you can actually use the rewiring that you're receiving and go about what's happening differently, so you can see yourself differently and then embody that identity in your day-to-day, right? And have the structure and the boundaries and like get the reps in of like, what is this new version? What does, you know, me 2.0 look like? Because you felt what she feels like. How is she applied in the day-to-day? And that's super important.
Yeah. Integration. I mean, I've had experiences without integration, and those were sometimes the hardest. And it's not to say it's like without it completely, but it's like, it's a piece we want to touch on, because the work doesn't leave when the retreat ends, right? Or like that feeling, right, is like, oh, I don't like that, just went away. No, it didn't go away. Like, you know what that feels like now. It's like a record in your nervous system. But it's like, we got to scratch that record, right? We got to let the thing go around. We got to put ourselves in the places where we can recreate that feeling and allow ourselves to start to give ourselves new evidence and collect new evidence. And that may mean like, there's the integration piece is sometimes uncomfortable, right? But that's where support comes in. That's where
sometimes integration is uncomfortable. Like it just is, and it doesn't make it a bad thing. It makes it a real thing, right? It's like, so much is waiting for us on the other side of our discomfort. Every period of growth that you've experienced has come on the other side of discomfort. So it is uncomfortable. It's intentionally so, but that's the only way that you get to that next version that you're seeking. That's the only way that you get to the identity that you want to embody.
It makes me think of this beautiful soul named Ariel. She was a member at one of the Costa Rica retreats and came home changed. She was a new woman. She has had a very hard childhood. Some horrific things happen, which ended up in some unsavory habits. And we went on a retreat and we come back. And I think maybe a month after we got home, she came over because she also lives here in San Diego and was saying how she had convinced her husband that they were going to move there because she felt so
solve
good.
all the problems.
Everything was so good there. Yeah. And she felt good. Life was good. She had revelations and freedom and all that stuff. And I was like, well, yes, Costa Rica is beautiful. And if you want to move there because Costa Rica is beautiful, yes. But what happened in Costa Rica is not supposed to stay in Costa Rica. I want you to be the version of you that you found there, here, every day and everywhere, at work, at home, in Timbuktu and in Costa Rica. Yes, Costa Rica is magical, but this is where integration comes in, and this is what we work on. So, yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, huge difference. And know that integration doesn't have to mean by yourself. I think that's where, when I was saying sometimes, right, where it's like, yeah, like you go back to your daily lives, you go back to what is the familiar environment, and then it's like, well, how do I ask for exactly what I need then, right? And like what's proper support? What does that look like? Like integration is not going back in and then expecting maybe people who haven't done these things for themselves, right, to essentially hold that same container for you. Like you are the new container, and you can still allow yourself to be supported as you are integrating. That doesn't mean you're going back to what you were before you started the retreat. Like you will never go back to what you were before you started the retreat because your nervous
never
system
go back.
has new evidence, right? Now, I'm not saying it's not going to maybe mimic or feel like that, right? But this is where a lot of women, it's not that you're stuck. It's just it's that you're integrating, and it's like sticking with yourself through that.
This is important questions to ask when you are thinking about, I want to go to a retreat. And so now you're investigating them. Not only do you need to, like at the one in Laguna that we just had, some of the women said, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Okay, what did you think it was going to be? Because apparently you wanted it. And they're like, it's better than I thought it would be. They thought they were going to a PowerPoint presentation for 3 days because they're business women and they go to seminars and conferences. And so thank God it was better than that. But integration is so important and support is so important. So when you are investigating retreats, ask the leaders.
Right.
Is there integration? What does that look like? What exactly are we doing?
Right. Is there additional support, right? Like especially like I know I'm definitely one where like I would like additional support. That's what makes me feel safe. That's something that is a need of mine, and that's okay. I'm very clear on that. And I think I know that I do better with one-to-one attention, right? I'm good in the group, but I really like that aspect. So it's like, if this is something, integration is a big piece of that. Like that is something when I go on a retreat, I'm going to ask and seek out. And it's okay to ask for those things. And if this is your first retreat and you don't know, right? It's like, okay, well, can I come up with a couple questions that I know this is what I need, and can I ask them in a way where I may find out on there that I need other things, and that's okay, but can I ask for what I need that I know initially up front?
I think that's the most important thing. Like, even if you can't think of the questions to ask, like just raise your hand and be like, hey, this is what I need. Right. And then we'll tell you if you're going to get what you need or not.
Yes. Yeah.
And the answer is you will get what you need and.
Yes. Correct. It's not a yes
and
or
I
no
think it's fair to say we will also tell you if it's not a good fit or it's not the right time.
Yeah, this is an intentional container, ladies, that we're hosting. It's only a set group of women. It's small. It's intimate. It's intentionally curated in that way. It's not to just get warm butts in the seats of Costa Rica. No, like we're intentionally having this be a space that's created for you to be held, to be supported, to be rewired, to be transformed, right? And it's like, allow yourself to be honest when asking these questions. Like, is that something of actually what I'm looking for? And if it is, great, we're happy to have the conversation. But if it's not, then we're happy to also let you know, like, maybe this is something that you're interested in, but if you're not quite ready for it, that's okay too.
Yeah. The idea is like finding a new normal that works better than what is currently happening, because what's currently happening is probably not working out that well for you if you're being really honest with yourself, right? And then it's like, how can I interrupt the survival mode and then work to create the evidence towards the new normal and do that collaboratively? And the magic, like Laura said, is not necessarily in the location itself, right? It's in like finding that safety and being free to be witnessed in, being finding that new identity that feels really authentic to you.
Mm-hmm. The magic's in you. You're the container. So Costa Rica is the next container. And anything else, ladies, before we wrap?
Just a reminder, June 17th through the 23rd is the dates for Peace.Play.Love. We are so excited. We have, as of right now, at the time of this recording, we have 3 spots remaining, and we still have payment plans available if you need to break up installments. That will go through March 15th. So we are really excited to get there. It's going to be here before we know it, but just, remembering, like, ask for what you need. Think about what it is that you're craving most. Is it rest? Is it clarity? Is it sisterhood? Is it a reset? Like, what is it? Raise your hand. And if you have any questions, we're here. We're happy to answer anything you got.
Yeah. The link is in the show notes. We're excited to connect with you, and don't be shy, right? We don't bite. Please. We want to connect with you. We want to see if this is a fit for you. And if this sparked anything in you today, we would love to have you. So yes, Coach Laura, we will be introducing her shortly on socials, but she has joined the That Girl Magic team. And yes, we're hosting a retreat together, but it's even more special that we get to continue doing this work alongside of you. And let them know where they can find you, Laura.
I am on social media. Instagram at My Aligned Life.
Awesome. Perfect. And we'll make sure to put the link in the show notes for you guys, as always.
Because you already know where to find us. So make sure you hit us with that review.
Hit us with the review. Hit us with the subscribes, shares,
ask
all the
questions.
Things. Yes. And I will also say this, if there's something that you heard today, maybe you've been on a retreat of your own, maybe you had your own experience. Again, whatever it is that maybe you're wanting to share with us, maybe as you're listening on your walk or whatever, it's like, gosh, I wish I just could phone in and tell them. Hit that request to reframe and send us. We want to know, do you have a retreat experience, or are you curious? Do you have questions? Book the call, the connection call, or hit that request to reframe, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
When was the last time you felt truly clear and at peace?
Maybe you've been asking yourself, why can't I just feel peace?
Most of us don't just need another escape. Vacation is great and all, but what we really need is integration.
When's the last time you gave yourself permission to play? As adults, we don't do that enough. And this is to be messy, curious, maybe even a little wild, like the little girl you used to be. She's still here. She's just waiting for you to say it's safe to come out again.
That's why we created Peace.Play.Love. For 7 days in the Costa Rican jungle, luxury meets real life with story work, somatic practices, and nervous system tools that help you not just reset here, but take that peace home with you.
I've been bringing women to Costa Rica for years because this land and the people have been a part of my own healing journey. And all of us have left transformed for the better.
At Peace.Play.Love, we'll slow down together, we'll breathe, we'll meet the guilt, the shame, the exhaustion, and learn how to alchemize them into permission, into softness, into peace that you can actually feel in your body.
This retreat is deeper than a pause. We're not just unplugging you. We are rewiring you.
I've witnessed these women, laugh from the depths of their souls, feel reconnected to who they truly are, tear up from actually taking in a sunset and watching as their shame, their stress, and fears all float off into the great beyond.
You'll map your next season with clarity and leave with insight to keep your nervous system regulated and your choices aligned long after you return. We keep it small on purpose, just 9 women, each supported through high-touch coaching, sisterhood, and real community.
The women who come, they're do-it-allers. They show up no matter what. They climb the mountain with the weight of the world on their back and a smile on their face, because that's just what they do. But they're looking at this next chapter of their life, and they know that they don't want it to feel like the last 5 did.
You don't have to hold it all anymore. You don't have to keep proving you're okay. This retreat is your safe place to land, and it's your invitation to play again.
There's something magical in this land that helps you find the magic in you. The light turns on, the weight lightens, and from there, you decide what the next chapter will be and who you will be inside of that on your terms. This is the magic of saying yes to you.
If you're craving calm and clarity that sticks, this is your invitation to join us in Costa Rica in June. Come exhale with us and remember who you are beneath the noise.